You'll see on our trailer here, the first thing we had to do is to take off the J-rail that runs along the outside of the wall there. J-rail actually sits on top of the roof, which you'll see here folds over the top of the sidewall. We took that off all the way around the trailer. We took off the awning rail. Those all just have screws that hold them in about every 2 to 3 inches all the way around. After we pulled those out, the top edge of the roof is folded over the sidewall, and you'll see these nails here and the pliers that I used to pull these nails out. About every 8 or 9 inches or so, the nails hold that roof down all the way down the trailer. So we had to pull each of those out so that would loosen up the roof on the trailer. The next thing was to tackle all the stuff on the trailer that holds the skin on, or that stops the skin from coming off, the metal from coming off. That's the tire for us, the license plate, light and bracket, the tail lights. All of those things have to come off because they are in the way of taking the outside aluminum off. The next thing to take off are the windows. You'll notice at the tops of the windows are the eyebrows. We took the eyebrows off first. You can see there's just a bunch of screws that hold those in. The eyebrows, and then the eyebrows, underneath the eyebrows are the windows. The windows have screws in them across the top of the window, and also on the inside rail of the window underneath the black gasket that holds the window tied up against the frame. After we took the window out, there were only a couple nails up at the edge around the window that were holding the skin on. And the back skin basically just fell off. And then you can see here, after the back skin fell off, which effectively is the top, that allowed us to get to the side skin and pull the side skin up, because it was, at that point, the edges were uncovered. You'll see the back of the trailer here. I've gotten the entire back taken out all the way down to, took out the inside panels and the boards. There were only 2 or 3. Took those out all the way down, sort of assessing things here. You see the back bed here. It's got screws in it right over there that hold it up. And down here right now, what I'm fighting with is this board. This board here is what the bottom sheeting goes in between. This board here and this board here. This board here is at least screwed in from the top. I think it's screwed in from the bottom too, as well as this board being screwed to it. And then this one is put on top after the panels are put in. It's just a spar like the rest of the cross members are. You can see here I've got this side panel pulled off. This is, by looking at the inside, theoretically the best panel here. It's the left side. And you can see here there's been some wire added. That light was not originally there like that. Down here you can see where they ran the wire up, ran it into this hole here, and that hole goes down through, and it ends up coming up, I believe, to that switch, which would make sense. But you can see the side panel here, even at the bottom. You can see those bottom boards there right in the middle. I've got some rot all the way down. I'm gonna have to pull this panel off right here and see what that looks like. On this side here, which is actually the worst side, I feel pretty good about going to be the similar situation there. From what I've heard, this is where all these trailers leak. They leak in these back seams where these curves come around, and the metal overlaps the sides here. You can see right there. This piece of wood actually looks good on the inside, and I'm going to try to save that. I think all that's fine. It's just a very light amount of discoloring here, which I think comes from
obviously from the water, but it comes from the boards here leaching down into it. Over here it's slightly worse. I'm going to try to save that panel. I think with a little sanding and a little shellac, that will look fine. Up there we're working on bleaching that. Again, that's a very, very light piece of one panel. The rest of these other panels look good up to that vent up there. The vent panel is going to have to be replaced. So the next big thing that I'll need to figure out here, so I've got a little bit of framing on the bottom here, a little bit more framing over here. I'm obviously going to have to replace that inside panel. You can see that water damage there. I'm going to try to, I may end up replacing this whole panel, but I'm going to try to salvage from the door, or I'm sorry, from the window down. And so I cut a line straight across here, replace this whole panel. You can see a seam here. Replace this whole panel and replace just that bottom piece here. I've seen that done on other trailers, and even though the seams are in odd places, it looks fine. The next biggest thing after that is going to be this floor, because if this water leaked down and ran into this floor very much at all, then I'm going to have to replace this first section here back to the first cross member, which I think is somewhere in the area of that cabinet line right there, probably 4 foot back. So hopefully I won't have to do that, but if I do, that's what I'll be doing next. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, and you will get updates whenever I post new build videos of my campers or other random projects. Give me a thumbs up below too. That really helps me out, helps my videos out, and helps me continue to produce them. And also follow me along on Instagram and Twitter, Dad Rambles on both of those, as I post other pictures and videos and stuff that I don't normally post on my YouTube channel.